But yeah,
fun
it's a movie
bad, like Madam
starring
Web.
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah.
You want
It's
me
like
to
boring
watch
bad.
Yeah.
Aaron Taylor Johnson for the full runtime of this movie?
Yeah, it doesn't
That's
didn't.
a problem.
Yeah, Madam Web. Here's what I'll say about Madam Web. And hi, everybody. Welcome to Dreamlands
You got me that time.
Theater of the Mind. My name's Philip. I'm the publisher. Here's what I'll say. Madam Web is a preposterous movie with dialogue that is unbelievable. I enjoyed watching it.
It's so stupid, it's good.
I should watch it.
It is fun. I don't want to. Yeah, it's not like
But
like
I would also argue that like the four women at the core of Madam Web are charismatic women that are entertaining.
Well, I'm not going to argue with you on three of them, but your lead character, I have never seen. I am genuinely blown away at what a disengaged lead performance Dakota Johnson managed to turn in that movie.
Okay.
She didn't care about making it seem like she wanted to be there, and it was fascinating. I've never seen something like that.
I guess you can only get roped in so many times to one of these movies being told like this is it. This is going to be a big franchise. This is going to be the breakout thing for you, and to just have it just be careening off a cliff and just still try to put your heart into it.
Giving them
I think you can only make so
and
many gray movies. Then start going through it again and see the signs.
Yeah, it was a dazzlingly disengaged performance, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. Also, whatever Zosha Mamet was up to in that movie, I don't know what was good. The villain plot of Madam Web is wild stuff.
They like dubbed his, so he would speak and nothing, and like be off. My favorite part from him in that movie is when they go to the diner, and he sees the girls at the back of the diner.
Yeah.
And then just runs up in a different direction and just punches some random guy sitting there who was doing nothing.
I really need to watch this movie.
You gotta probably should check out. Also, Madam Web, it's like they're like the lead for these girls, and she's like driving them.
And then he's like,
she's like driving them in a cab through the forest. She's driving them in a New York City yellow cab, like in the middle of the woods.
oh, but then also,
Okay, I gotta watch this.
diner.
I gotta watch this.
Wait, you haven't seen Madam Web?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
Okay. I was when you were talking about the charisma of the four leads.
I was talking baseline. I have no idea what their performance is like.
I was
in
like,
this
oh
movie.
wow, yeah,
But I know
check it out, dude.
I know baseline Aaron Taylor Johnson is not.
Yeah, I don't like him, and that's why Craven. We were also Gallagher and said we remember talking about Craven. You got to check out Madam Web. Oh man, you're not even ready. You're not even ready for Zosha Mamet as a hacker in 2003.
Oh my God, Zosha Mamet plays a hack.
She's the hacker, and it's 2003.
Jesus.
Only 9 years after Monster the Ravaging.
Speaking of Zosha Mamet, I was gonna bring it. Have you been seeing the ads for the new show that Zosha Mamet's in, Laid?
I have seen that on Peacock a lot. Yeah.
It's such a bizarre concept where Stephanie Shu, I think, who was in Everything Everywhere. Sue, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Basically, anyone she sleeps with in the past just ends up dead. So, or like a bunch of them have. So she and Zosha Mamet are going around to all of her like the previous people she slept with, being like, "Hey, you might die."
Yeah. It feels to me like a high concept, like circa 2010, like raunchy rom-com, just as a series. So yeah, I don't know. Lots of stuff,
something
lots
like
of
Kristen
content
Wiig.
out there.
This feels like a very post-Bridesmaid idea, right? Like this is something like someone would have made like right after Bridesmaids came out.
There definitely was a. I feel like it was. Yes, yeah. It's also the. It's the post-Wedding Crashers. Is the movie I could not think of. Yeah. That was the floodgates of R-rated comedy for however long that lasted. Until everyone decided we don't want to make comedies anymore. They don't play internationally. And now it's just TV. The more you know. So
then Madam Web happened.
Then Madam Web happened and comedy returned to the multiplex.
Yeah. Well, like the problem is we started making comedies that are just all people riffing and improvising and saying a bunch of dialogue that doesn't carry over. I think slapstick would still carry over internationally. I think if you made more Zucker Brother movies, that would probably still play it.
Oh my God! Well, there is a new Akiva Schaffer's doing a new Naked Gun. He's directing it.
There's
There's a Naked Gun with a Liam Neeson coming out. Yeah.
But it's not.
With Liam Neeson?
Yeah, he's the guy.
You can't replace Leslie Nielsen with Liam Neeson.
Famously great slapstick comedy actor Liam Neeson.
Yeah. Like Leslie Nielsen is.
He's pretty memeable.
He's funny. He can be funny.
Liam Neeson can play a weird situation straight in a way I like. So I'm sure it'll be. I'm intrigued.
Yeah. That is a weird soup, but I'll take a taste.
Why Gallinorian Saber? I'm so shocked that you would have skipped of all the superhero movies, Madam Web. I can't believe that's one you wouldn't have rushed out to see.
It needed its own popcorn bucket.
It did.
You know what incredible
my god
experience I
saw what's that?
Was fucking Godzilla versus Kong.
Oh yeah.
Wait, which fight back?
Wait, was it Godzilla versus Kong or was it Godzilla X Kong the new kingdom?
I have not seen Godzilla X Kong yet.
That is so you should watch him. You should watch them all because that is basically how I grieved the death of my cat, was to just watch all of those movies back to back to back. So like starting with the Gareth Edwards Godzilla, I just moved in chronological order.
Speaking of Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was in there.
He's in that.
I
guess
that movie
he's there, but
most I am bashing my action figures together as a 12-year-old movie I have seen since Pacific Rim.
And then it does the you gotta watch the next one, because then it does the Fast and Furious thing where now they're friends.
Yeah.
Enemies are now friends. They're on the same team now. There's a bigger thing, and now it's just these guys are friends now because they got a new toy.
I also somehow managed to be unspoiled for who the villain was of Godzilla vs. Kong. I did not know who the villain was going to be, and I was.
I like that you're respecting potential viewers by not saying it for that 5-year-old film. I appreciate that.
Well, we can't spoil, especially because it'd be specifically spoiling just Gallinorian Saber right now. If he
That's true.
That feels kind of mean.
Let's see, really Gallinorian Saber. Let's see. You've told us you haven't seen Madam Web. Tell us another review you haven't seen, and we will spoil it.
Although if you haven't seen Kong Skull Island, that is legitimately good.
I love that movie.
Kong Skull Island.
It's so stupid.
Kong Skull Island is very fun.
So stupid.
Again, Madam Web.
But we can circle back to Madam Web, everybody. Yeah. Madame Web, as she is known. If you put some respect on her name.
I did.
He was with my mother when she was killed researching spiders in the Amazon. It's not in the movie, but it's in our hearts. That's what the popcorn bucket should have been.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, well, anyway, speaking of I don't know, information and histories and things, let's talk a little bit about what happened in our most recent session of this game, and also the vote that happened over the past 2 weeks, since we were off last week for the holiday times. Even though we have another holiday in checks notes tomorrow night, New Year's Rocking Eve.
I'm still on holiday.
New Year's Rolling Eve. Same holiday. It's just one.
Well, as I understand it,
is it a
the December 20th through the 24th is Christmas Eve. December 25th through December 29th is Christmas Day. The 30th through the 31st is New Year's Eve, and the 1st through the 3rd is New Year's Day.
As
far as business emails are concerned.
Interesting. I mean, there's also
that is how it was laid out to me at one point.
Well, this year also had the interesting thing of that Hanukkah Hanukkah started on Christmas, which is rare. Yeah. Dan said
it's only the third time since 1900.
Yeah, Dan said it's stretching to the point that it's gonna snap real early again. So there you go. Will it be next year that it snaps back, or was there one more?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I'm not a good enough Jew to remember that.
Yeah. Well, in any event.
December 14th. Next year.
Next year's December 14th. There you go.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, whatever holidays people are celebrating, and quite frankly,
and then the 26th is when it goes all the way back. 2026.
2026. It goes to when?
December 4th.
Yeah, it's so early.
The beginning of December.
Yeah, because there's a leap month, right? Rather than a leap day or whatever. It's just a leap month every period. Yeah.
Something weird like that.
What determines when Hanukkah starts?
It's on the lunar calendar.
Yeah.
On the
That's why.
okay.
Yeah.
So, regardless of what holidays you're celebrating, I hope they've been festive and pleasant. But now, MEI at least, we might not be back to work in our real lives, but here at MEI, we have to get back to work on an important crafting job. Because money is all that matters. Money never sleeps. Wall Street too.
Oliver Stone taught us.
Yeah, as Oliver Stone taught us. Greed, for lack of a better term, is good. In our last session, so after the massive, and of course, Will and Asheen are now going every day, doing their little shenanigans of word of recalling themselves to the Amethyst Mine and then teleportation circling back to East.
Word of Amethyst. Give him a cake. Turn him into an animal.
Yeah.
Get some amethyst. Come back.
So both
this
of you.
What we do for the first hour every day.
Yeah, both of you have to mark off those spells every day. You do not have access to those because you've spent them already before any gaming begins.
Yeah,
which is really funny.
It's pretty remarkable that I decided to lose a 5th and 4th level spell every day.
Yep.
First thing.
What's Word of Recall? 4th?
I think 5th.
5th? Yeah. So, sorry, mark off your 5th. At least you guys are 13th level characters and you're fine.
I'm not gonna cry too much over it.
So, after setting that
how
up,
many spells do we need to know for this game? Also?
Yeah, well, you never know. There'll be one that will be a brutal combat session. You guys will be like, oh, jeez, oh, what were we thinking? So in our last session,
6th level shit.
Oh,
6th
well,
level?
there you go.
Jeez.
You're spending it, baby.
Don't worry,
Why
it's
is
only
it
for a
higher?
year.
Is it because you can pull so many people, or?
Yeah, I mean it's basically teleport. It's 1 level below teleport, and it's I think that's a correct placement for it because it's basically teleport one way.
And you can teleport to a specific place, but it's action speed, right?
Yes.
And also you don't have to do what I'm doing, which is every day for a year draw the teleportation circle.
You're just like, hey, that's my recall
to make it permanent,
location, and it always is.
But teleportation circle also takes time to cast, right?
Right, which is a 5th level.
Yeah,
and that makes sense about why it bumps up a little, but it can't go anywhere like teleport. So
yeah. Also, the components of Word of Recall are verbal.
Oh,
it's literally just.
Well, then yeah. Oh, that makes sense on account of it's called Word. So, in any event, we need Word of Recall. Then we need Excel of Recall. Then we need PowerPoint of Recall. Guys, these are some Microsoft Office jokes. We need Outlook of Recall.
I think Finger of Death is PowerPoint.
Yeah.
True.
So, in any event,
I like that a lot.
In our last session, even though we didn't open a calendar, we still wasted a lot of time. The group decided to take a job for Tatsov the Necromancer, a villainous mage who's often foiled by meddlesome heroes. The team wasn't sure if they should do it quietly. They decided, we'll just kind of do it. They undertook it. It became apparent, and I'm gonna try to say this I'm gonna try to express this as accurately as I can. It became apparent that some of the characters weren't into this, but some of the players super weren't into it, and so KJ was kind of maybe trying to not have it be too good because some of the stuff you were planning on giving this were like, oh no, this is gonna get good guys killed if we do this. Others of you, like Mr. Glurk, were like, I just want to get paid and do a good job, and I'm Mr. Glurk, look at me. So,
look at me. We could start the arms race.
That being said, through some canny, I decided to turn up the volume in a different way, and through some canny, listening in from Riva and other info on this guy, you crafted him the Staff of the Damned, as Mr. Glurk requested, and then anticipated his immediate attempt to turn it on you to enslave you into his army of the dead, which you anticipated, easily redirected, which voided his contract. You took back the Staff of the Damned. You also stole his Atlas of Endless Horizons. You warned him again, and Reginald very intensely, warned him, don't you come back, because we're ready for you, we're intense. Intimidation rolled high. So he disappeared in a huff about these meddlesome crafters. So now, above board, you got all his money, you were paid for your work, and you now have a Staff of the Damned, which admittedly is a tough is a tough thing. It's a +1 bonus to spell attack rolls, to spell and save DCs. You get 2 portents every day, and they're like portents, like whispered from the dead to you. And you can exert telepathic command over undead you create as long as you're on the same plane of existence, which is pretty crazy. So that is an item you guys now have to sell, and all I'm going to say is that when you think about your Bastion actions, well, this is now something that the private showroom of special offer, like, you can, in other words, like, you can make a huge profit by selling that. You also have the Atlas of Endless Horizons. Those are kind of the items that you have, like, just in stock in the background. The high-ticket, big-ticket things.
Yeah, and
is the book... Oh, go ahead, Pierce.
I was going to say, like, I mean, yeah, now we actually have stuff in our showroom. So this can just sit there, you know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily have to get sold. It is like a display piece that will drum up maybe someone's like, oh, you can design something like that for me. So because it's basically all paid for. We made all the money of it. We're going to get it twice over whenever we sell it, right?
I really love the implication of, like, us just having a staff that will whisper, like, the, like, last regrets of the dead into our visitors' ears as they walk into our store, like, showroom.
Sure. Yeah.
They're like, oh, what's that? And they're like, oh, that's just another project. What we're here to show you is this ring. And then, like, in the corner, the staff is just like, I had so many regrets. And, like, some shit like that.
But I think I had the same question Kevin had. So what were you going to ask, Kevin?
About
the book.
The book. What was the book again? And
the book was
it for us to sell or for us to, like, use in crafting?
That is something you guys can absolutely discuss amongst yourselves. The only thing I'll say about the Atlas of Endless Horizons is that it does require attunement by a wizard. So that is something that none of you necessarily have the capability of doing. The big deal with it is that it contains a bunch of books, or it contains a bunch of spells for you automatically. You could use it as a spellcasting focus, as most magical books are. You can also spend a minute to replace it. It all has charges. You can only use it a few times. You can spend 1 minute to replace prepared wizard spells. So it's basically like you know, you don't even have to do a short rest, because I think they can. I'm not even sure they could do that as a short rest speed. So that's a huge deal. It's like you're like, I don't have that spell prepared. Hold on, now I do. Also, you can, if you're hit by an attack, you can use your reaction to expend one of those charges to teleport 10 feet unoccupied space that you can see. And if the attack can't reach that spot, it now misses you. So that's a pretty cool. That's a pretty cool one.
Good. It's really good to the point where I wonder why this necromancer lost so much and why he needed an item from us. Because that item's already pretty rad.
I kept forgetting they had a lance, which was still long enough to hit me. The fools. The stupid, they cheated.
Yeah, that stuff. So, you have those 2 items. So Mr. Glurk, in answer to your question, if you would like to somehow, like, utilize that for crafting, I guess let's actually frame it like this. Here, we'll jump right into this. I'm even gonna kick this question to KJ so she can answer this. It's a new day here at MEI. Lustra brings you guys in for your big morning meeting. She's been making a lot of moves. You've known about the past few days. You've just been kind of working on smaller projects, and of course, Will and Asheen have been doing their daily rock gnome sojourn to the mine, because that's how they do. Glurk, what have you been up to?
Probably just continuing to pump out those potions and maybe find a suitor for this staff.
Understood. In that case, roll me a... If you're looking for a suitor for the staff, do you have any charisma, or your charisma is really bad?
It's 14.
Oh, okay, great. Just give me a persuasion roll as you sort of chat with, like, you know,
Right.
chat with folks in the bar, this kind of plasmoid comes up to them and talks to them about necromancy.
Nat 20, so 27.
Well, great use of a nat 20. Yes, I will say that you actually do have some leads on necromancers who are very interested in that staff. You're not sure they would pass, Faunelin's approval, but they are probably not as, like, maniacal as Tatsov.
Oh, we did also, I think, I don't think this happened in the Discord. This wasn't on stream, but Jeremy, I think we have also decided that should this come along, we will probably try to build like an exhaust port in the Death Star kind of thing, so that there is a weakness to the thing should we need to like destroy it when it is used against us by another type of client like this.
Yeah. Like the next time you build something.
Yeah. The next time if we are tasked with a similar task.
Understood. So Lester will bring you in, and sort of actually, as Will and Sheen, as you guys come in early, Reginald's kind of just sitting there, looking human. And Faunolin is, I'll roll for Faunolin. Faunolin's kind of like, she's not acting like a cat, but she is kind of like chasing like a weird like reflection that's moving from the window, like kind of just curious about it. So. Lustra, you see, is already talking to Mr. Glurk, and she's sort of saying, "That's okay. Well, that's wonderful news. Thank you. Yes, I think that's a great insight. Good morning, partners. Mr. Glurk has been doing some research into possible buyers for that Staff of the Damned. So, that is something we're ready to, we can start bringing in some other necromancers if we ever want to.
Are they all like Seth Lynch that we dealt with?
Well." Some of them are, but there are actually a couple who are we have some prospects. Mr. Glurk has been surprisingly effective at eliciting useful information from various bar patrons. It's been wonderful.
Surprising. Look at me.
I precisely. So, in any event, there were a couple of other matters we wanted to attend to, but we actually do have a client who has an important item that will be our next major project. But first, I was wondering what you thought about and she will then pull out that atlas of Endless Horizons, saying, what is your opinion about this book? And of course, we can, we don't have to decide now. I think the two main options, since none of us use this for our own spellcasting, would be to either put it in the library or to put it up for sale. Faunolin will say, I think that should be in the library, because then we can go see it and visit if we want to.
Or disagree, just because I don't know that we have the capability right now. Maybe we do, but I think I'd like to do some research to find out how to change the properties of magic items so that one of us can use it.
Interesting.
Sounds like an interesting proposition.
So we'll hang on to it in our library.
Maybe we can have
Flynar
sell it.
Yes.
Flynar.
Look into it.
Okay. Ask Flynar, so potentially ask Flynar. Can look into specifically how other people could use it.
Mm-hmm.
Understood. Okay.
And perhaps we could display it, but not sell it. Just as something that's just an enticing thing.
Oh.
As an example of something we can do. No.
Well, maybe we should just put a copy of it in the front to show, and then put it in the back for safekeeping.
Sure.
I can see the logic of that, and certainly if you want Flynar to study it, it will need to be back there.
Sure.
We should do that for that staff too.
Oh, understood. Well, the staff will be in the private showroom. That's not where just anyone can take it. So, here's a question. Obviously, we have received word from another Earth hero, although she does live here in Ys, up in sort of the high part of town, in High Ys. Her name is Detective Abnormal, and she has solicited our assistance with creating a device that can help her in the Dreadlands. She'll be traveling to those sort of nightmare realms on a mission to rescue several of other Earth's sort of very impressive, mystical, magical heroes. And as far as I can tell, that actually is why we haven't had much of an influx after our assistance to the Hoboken Witch, as many of Earth's magical heroes are trapped in one of these Dreadlands. So, she has requested... she's used something called abnormal sight to understand the future of certain... I didn't quite follow it. Her powers are very interesting. You may wish to ask her many questions about them, but she wishes to have a helm that can let her keep her wits about her. In fact, there have been such helms. We've heard of Helm of Wits, a helm that sort of prevents you from being charmed or frightened or having sort of certain mental effects occur. She has deemed this the more pressing matter. That being said, it was sort of debated. She was debating between that and a lantern, a lamp of amber. As you know, well, actually, all of you make an Arcana check.
I start remembering now.
Another 35.
35 for Mr. Glurk.
All right. Not gonna bother them.
32.
32. Okay, well, yeah, guys are good. Mr. Glurk, you are very familiar, and Oshin, so are you, and Will, you're just like, what are these people talking about? You are very familiar with the idea that these Dreadlands are sort of surrounded by this impenetrable purple mist that can suck the life force out of you, keep you trapped. One very powerful means of combating it is amber light. Light sort of generated from magical amber. What is interesting is that they are weak against each other. So, like if you things that have mist will just, it's neither of them really gives you protection from the other. It's more that they can actually really hurt each other in ways that other things can't. Like if you guys were to go up against an amber being, it would be able to impose lots of stuff on you that would be fairly irresistible unless you could hit it with some purple mist, and vice versa. So, for you to make sort of Dino Buddy style amber light, that was something that so Lustra will continue and say, yes, so she was strongly considering asking for a more offensive measure, being sort of some amber light, and so she suggested that if it were possible to, include amber within this helm, along with other defensive measures, that would be ideal, although I don't need to tell you that it will be a very difficult challenge. And I will say that Glurk and Ashin, just with the roll you've made, you know that is going to kick your difficulty up a level if you try to if you try to make both items into one. Yes, Ashin.
It's just so I understand. You're saying she wants it to be an offensive thing, so that it could blast a beam of light out of it, not just sort of a relatively simple property. A lot of magic items have is they just cast light over distance, so that feels like that would be a relatively simple thing to just make an amber light radius.
Any amber light coming off would be offensive in nature to beings who are based primarily in the sort of purple mist, or to the mist itself, to the dread lady there, those figures.
Right.
So, I guess the main thing to decide is just what manner of sort of wits, like defenses, you're going to try to put into it, and if you're going to try to have it be an amber helm of wits, or if you simply want to design the best possible helm of wits you can. So, as you debate these matters, I guess Fonelin will kind of say, oh, that could be so much fun.
What?
What?
What would be fun?
Mm-hmm.
Clark, you should know better at this point than to ask Fonelin a clarifying question.
Oh, clarifying? Oh, I'm sorry. Were you trying to clarify? We should do the one where we add amber light to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm always down for a challenge.
What?
I don't think we've ever said no to any of the extra frills.
What?
You're right,
They're
Funnelin.
agreeing
We're
with
going to
you.
do the thing that you wanted to do.
What did I want to do?
Always.
Go to your garden.
Okay. She goes to her garden.
Anywho, I think we should go for it broke, like we always do.
Yeah.
Why
skip
MEI
now.
without some bells and whistles, right?
Lester will say, well, financially we are doing okay. This is, again, this will not be our highest paying job we've had. But given the number of heroes this could potentially rescue, I would anticipate this very much opening up future sales in a major way.
Sure.
I thought
If-
that's what that witch was supposed to do.
Which witch?
The one that we already helped.
I know, but for some reason the people voting won't pick the thing I've been trying to get everyone to do for the past 3 weeks to follow up on it.
Ooh.
I mean, what she says is,
I believe
she
I
has,
feel
but
like,
many of them are trapped in this place. So
also, if I recall how that sort of ended when we saw her, I imagine she's probably having lots of devil coitus right now. That might be distracting her.
Said it nicer than I would have, honestly, Asian.
what? I don't.
Lots of
Okay.
They're fucking.
hellish intercourse.
Oh dear. Well, this is what I get for leaving that one light off that time, I guess. I'm just inviting this kind of bad non-Valo talk. What can I say? I'm a total rebel. Anyway, yes. That sounds plausible. The point is, that we will be paid, but it is not going to be an exceedingly lucrative. So if you wish for the business to continue, for example, Mr. Glurk, if you wanted us to try to sell to one of these people, I can try to make that sale for you while you're working on this.
Especially if we're not getting as much for this next crafting adventure.
That would certainly sort of keep our finances or even improve them, despite this being, I mean, obviously last week's, our building this, we were paid for our expenses, so selling it on top of that is going to be a massive windfall for us whenever it happens. It's when you want to expend the resources of having me attempt to do so while you're busy with other things. So yeah, I guess I'll just to clarify this for the gamification of everything. This is all about the selection of your Bastion actions, your craft house actions. We call it Bastion because that's the rules we're using, but it's not really a Bastion. Your business actions. Oh shit, we're taking business actions? They're business actions. So,
It's business.
you guys, as far as the business actions you'd like to take, typically, if the size of the chamber is cramped, you can really only have them do one. If the size of the chamber is vast, you can have a couple. No, vast you can have more than one. Roomy, you can maybe have two. Vast, you can have multiple, depending on sort of who's doing it and all that. So, what Bastion actions do we want to take before you guys try to bang out this very important item? And I'll also tell you that, though we're not really currently doing it right now, the stakes of this aren't just your own financial stuff in MEI. There are some secret targets of what this thing winds up being able to do that will dictate how successful the upcoming comics miniseries of the, rescue mission that Detective Abnormal is going to undertake. This will dictate how well that goes. So, do a good job.
And I forget, when we do this, like we need the smithy, right? Is already do we use the smithy?
So because this is a helm, you will need to use the smithy to have. So basically, I would say you'll probably need to have your smithy and your workshop all work on this to have those other 7 people. So it's 7 plus the 5 of you doing the crafting. Because I guess you do the 12 for the 10-day and all the shenanigans. Also because this will be a metal helm, and I'm sure you'll be adding sort of, some various other stuff to it. So those, however, don't have to be taken as Bastion actions. It's more that you can't. Well, it's more that those people are working for you, so you don't have bodies to like. Like when Morthwill has used the smithy, that's because it's been the workshop and the gardeners doing the work on a thing, You can't have them generate income for you. Or if, for example, Mr. Glurk, if we were ever doing a job that really involved a lot of alchemy, in the crafting of the item, you would not be able to ask Udamata to build, to craft for you while it's going on.
I understood.
Yeah. But it doesn't count as a Bastion action. Yeah. Go for it, Ashin.
I would like to ask, I'm not sure if this is the kitchen staff or the bartender.
Okay.
So you tell me which it is. I would like them for a limited time to craft Harvest Festival drinks.
Okay.
To just bring in more clientele.
I think that would be the pub.
Okay.
A prestige special event. Okay. So Ashin requests a Harvest Festival event in the pub
a lot of
prestige.
Great. Of peppermint or apple infused drinks.
So wait, wait, is it a winter festival or a harvest festival? They're very different flavor profiles.
Oh, sorry, winter festival.
Okay,
sorry,
gotcha. Okay, yeah. We're talking gingerbreads. We're talking peppermints. We're talking a latke latte.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Latke latte.
Sounds horrible, but yeah, hell yeah.
I'm gonna.
Well, it's like we could bring the kitchen into it too. I mean, there's no reason why we can't just have various fried foods. We can
absolutely. It's the kitchen is considered a low-level thing, so in the Bastion rules, they don't actually have actions you can take. But you know what? For business actions, they can. So sure, we can bring them in.
Well, can they just help kitchen. The bar? Can they just give the bartender advantage on the roll?
I'll tell you what, you're going to need to ask the pub to do it. If you want, either you want to spend your D20 or somebody else does, or you want to ask if you want to really lean on either Faunelin or Reginald to do an extra thing to do that, you need them to do both.
Let's have Reginald. Let's have Reginald.
Reginald will ask the kitchens. Okay?
He's good at talking to people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So there we go.
Like
Reginald will ask the kitchens. With a winter festival.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we have a winter festival situation going on. Will, what is your plan?
So can't really use the smithy, right?
The smithy, yeah, you're not going to have the smithy make other stuff for you for now. I will say, as always, some good ones would be having your archive do research for you throughout the process. Yeah. You can, I would say this was a big thumb. Somebody should have the... if no one says empower, that's what Faunelin's going to do, is make you all meditate. Right.
I was assuming Faunelin would do.
The private showroom option is kind of a more appealing one this time, because you really do have something to sell. And, depending on how good she does, she can, really, make you some serious money with that. Or, of course, there's also... There's harvest in the garden. There's do the laboratory crafting of potions to keep money kind of going, or there's to do the meditation experience in the meditation solarium to bring in more sort of prestige for the place.
Just unrelated. Mm-hmm. What thing do we need to add on to our business that would allow us to have agents for corporate espionage?
I don't know.
I feel like we got that ourselves.
Yeah, but no, that's an interesting thing. We could figure out some kind of market research. Yeah. Yeah, we could go figure out how you do that. Yeah. Okay, so
we don't have that department currly. But
you do not currently, but that's the thing.
It's just us.
Yeah.
But we can't go back to the place we all just got fired from.
No. If you guys want to add another facility, that's definitely something you could do, but you're gonna have to really have made a lot of money to do that. Will, what do you think?
I think I'm gonna have market research, or not market, but archive research be one of my
archive. Okay, you're gonna have the archives. And what would you like the archive to research?
Probably decorative helm, history of decorative helms or something like that, or something about because we're putting amber into it, right?
Oh, okay. So of protective helms like this, of these kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the history of construction of like the specific helms, like, if there's any like, if we can get like old helms that were commissioned by like kings or like things like that, like very specific magic items that were
understood. Basically used
on spec.
Understood. Perfect. Okay. Research protective helms. Yeah, that's good. So that'll I see how that'll go. Mr. Glurk.
I think Fonolin should do the Empower.
Okay.
And then I'll do the private showroom.
All right. So I'll say the private showroom is basically a situation of private showroom versus the laboratory. As laboratory is kind of guaranteed a good amount of funds. Dedicating the private showroom means it's a sort of a gamble on if you get like a huge payday. So sounds good. All right, we're gonna do the private showroom. It's a sure thing, according to Mr. Glurk. All right, and is anyone going to expend a hero D20 to take an extra Bastion action?
I actually have a request. No, but I have
okay.
This will probably raise the DCs, and it's your action, Mr. Glurk. So I'll ask your permission on this. Do you think we should set a requirement that Luster try to sell to someone who doesn't seem like they will try to use it on us?
I mean,
as part of the process of bringing a client in.
Yeah, we got to protect ourselves.
Yeah, that seems
beyond the room of us.
I think that's probably. Yeah, that's where you and Fonolin are kind of diverging a bit. Understood. All right, great. Well, in that case, my friends and neighbors, my partners in craft, what all are we including in this helm? If you want it to have the standard kinds of like mind shielding stuff that anything would do, that is one roll. That is going to give you kind of, like protection from charm and frighten and probably some protection from psychic. If you want it,
it's Magneto's helmet.
If you want it to specifically resist the purple mists and the effects that has, that is a higher DC. But certainly, I think, kind of what has been asked for. Then, of course, adding Amber on top of that will be the highest DC.
To the top.
So, you want to do those three things? Do you want to add any other defenses to this Helm of Wits? In other words... well, yeah, go ahead.
Could we do, like, some more basic, like, saving throws... These, like,
I'm also wondering if we could do charges to cast shield.
Charges to cast shield, okay.
Or having been in the mist in a prior life of some tangential universe, the ability to move quickly through the mist should the need arise.
That's what that second roll would do. It would basically allow you to pass through the mist as if you were a mistwalker.
Okay. Yeah. So we don't need to add like.
Yeah, that's already going to be its own hard thing. Yeah, you don't need to add like additional stuff there. If you want to add a saving throw stuff, I would allow that to still be the first roll. It would raise the DC. If you want to add a shield, that will be its own roll, but a lower like a fairly standard DC. It's just a first level spell. Yes, Will.
I was wondering if maybe we should add like Death Ward onto this helmet.
Okay.
How deadly.
That's good.
If you want to put some spells on it that can use charges, that will be its own roll. So you'd be making 4 rolls total.
Okay. That they have to come back and fill up here.
I can cast Death Ward, I think, as a cleric, so I could help.
Yeah. So you could do the Death Ward, and you could do a shield. Sheen, I assume you have shield, since you're suggesting it.
No, I was just sort of something like that. But like, I like Death Ward. Let's do Death Ward.
Death Ward might be a great thing to put into it. Okay, perfect. So,
yeah, I don't know that we're there yet. Maybe not on one where we're doing 4 steps, Mr. Glurk, but I do like the idea that we start to create a signature thing that we have really powerful items, but they don't recharge at dawn. They recharge when you come back here and we fill it up for you.
All right. So, my friends, for round 1, this is the baseline. Just make it good. make it simple. I'm going to urge you to either be ready to expend some hero dice to some hero dice to allow you some hero d10s to let you like do Arcana again, because those last two you're really going to want Arcana.
Twice, yeah.
Maybe not in both. You might be able to get away with both, but I wouldn't use Arcana here, is what I'm saying.
So we have four. We have four.
You're going to have 4. Yeah, so it's going to be tough because you guys are loading it. So for round 1, the DC here is not crazy, and I will even do this as a stair-step thing. I won't sort of punish you for things, in other words. A 25, an average of 25, will give you the protection from Charm and Frightened, kind of the baseline. A 30 will add resistance to psychic damage. A 35 will add some advantage on saving throws against, for the mental stats. And a 40 will give you immunity to psychic damage. And beyond that, maybe there's other bonuses too, whatever. So, let's go ahead and make those rolls. What are we going to use?
Are we inspired?
Yes, we did the meditate. Right.
But Asheen, are you inspiring everyone with Bardic?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I forget. Are we allowed to use the tools more than once, or a tool also?
Tools can be used only once in a round, so we have 4 rounds basically. So you could do the same tool all 4 times. Yeah.
I should probably do smithing tools for this, right?
Smithing tools. This is baseline thing. You're gonna do smithing tools. Faunelin's gonna do jeweler's tools. I'm gonna roll Faunelin's now. In fact.
Oh no, and she'll give her.
Are you giving it to all 4 of your companions?
I should. I don't know that I can't re-up it, right?
So remember to guide yourselves.
Faunelin guided herself. Faunelin hit a 25 exactly. I don't think she's going to use anything to boost it above that.
Okay. I think I could do Tinker's tools as sort of like a way to maybe just like
okay,
because my woodcarver's tool is not going to be good, but maybe I could just inscribe some runes or something.
Tinker's seems good. Yeah, go for it.
Okay,
that's a 32.
32 from Smith's tools.
Do we, from the Archivist Bastion action, do we get is that for
I was going to
the next round?
I was actually going to probably roll that for the last 2 rounds because it will take some time. Although, you know what? No, that's fair. I will roll him. He has advantage on it. Yeah, it would be applying now. I'll roll that now to see if this should give you any extra boost. I know exactly what boost that will give you, actually. Hold on. Archivist. Actually, I rolled an advantage thanks to the Empower, but it was... I didn't roll Faunelin's an advantage. Wait, Faunelin might have been higher. Nope. Flynar does... He hits like a 21. So it's not crazy high, but I am actually going to shift all of those down by 1. So it's actually, in this case, it's 24, 29. Your levels up are all getting a little bit of a feathered edge for this one. Yeah.
What stat? I forget what stat do I use for Tinker's tools.
Tinker's tools would be either Dex or Int. Probably Dex.
Okay.
Your Dex is higher, right?
Yeah.
Do you use Dex?
18. So it's 28. I think I'll stay there.
Okay. Mr. Glurk. Reginald. Mr. Glurk, I'll let you pick that. I'll choose for Reginald from what's left.
Given that it's could you do perception or something as you're trying to put these things in here to...
I think so, and also
more like a keep control rather than a...
I'd allow you to do a perception also just because it's like you're putting it on and making sure you can hear and see through it. Okay, Yeah, for the
All
yeah.
right, so
You
we'll
can
do
do a
that.
perception here. That's fine. All right, let's see a perception for Mr. Glurk.
Those were not good rolls.
Okay.
It is at a 23.
Okay.
Would use
What
the
did-
D10.
You
Oh, yeah.
can use your D10 if you want to now because you are below the target, or you can save it.
Or a hero dice, right?
You could use hero dice too, or you could save them for the 3 remaining rounds we have. Yeah. Haha. See, this is more tense than a fight.
No, we'll be inspired.
Okay.
That is a 6.
That gets you to a 29.
Yeah.
Which counts
With
as
a
a
little feather
30.
touchdown.
Feather touch
Nice.
helps. All right. And then for Reginald, his other tools, he has brewer's supplies. I don't think that can help. He does have cartographer's tools. I don't know. You could make a case for me on that. Otherwise, he just has smiths and tinkers. He is proficient in heavy armor. Golly,
That seems useful.
it is heavy armor. I think heavy armor is useful.
Um,
I don't know. Let's have him do modifier's not good enough on that one. I don't want to take it. I don't want to take a good skill away from you guys for later. I really should have had Faunalin do. Oh, he doesn't have jewelers though. Yeah.
Could he? It's a dumb pitch. I'm like, what if he, since he's proficient in heavy armor, what if he's like basically the form that we're like building onto, like he's wearing it to sort of, and it's like an athletics or a constitution kind of check.
Athletics feels excessive. I don't think I can allow that.
Constitution saving throw as we're banging on him.
I'll do that. Sure. He'll make a con save to make sure he can take the elixirs you gotta do in the thing. That's fine. Okay. A natural 20 plus 6 gets him to a 26. He cannot use a D10. He cannot use his second wind though, sadly. That second wind, his tactical mind.
Oh God. I should like not give him inspiration and save it to give it to someone else because of how many tactical wits he has.
Fail an ability check. It's always in. I don't. Did he fail it because he didn't get to a higher number he was hoping for?
No, I think it's just.
I think if you hit the base,
I think if you hit the base. I always got a 26. Okay. 26 from Reginald on con save to test the damage reduction. And finally, for our friends
They're crash dummy for that.
in our crafters, your crafters, with their flat thing, but they do have advantage because they're empowered because they're meditating. They get you not quite as great for them.
Do you also get an advantage, by the way, on these because of the meditating? Or?
Yeah, you all do have yeah, everyone has advantage on every roll because this game's too easy. Haha. They get you only to a 21.
Really right now. Ooh.
21.
So you're definitely going to be over 25 or 24, which is your minimum for this. Let's see.
Before they make their rolls. Sorry.
Final roll?
Well, to give them an extra thing here. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was Faunalin's?
Faunalin was a 20. She hit 25 exactly. So we got.
What were you guys?
25 plus 32.
29 also, I think.
9 plus 26 plus. You are at a 26.8, so 27. So, in other words, it has, it is protection from charm and frightened.
Okay. You can't add anything onto that?
If you want me to, I can add some of your staff stuff on here or there, but I mean, that's only one roll.
This is the base level, though. We haven't gotten into the actual, like, mind shielding stuff, right?
Well, no, had you hit, that's what we were saying. If you hit a 30, that's going to give you psychic damage reduction. If you hit a 35, it's going to give you saving throw benefits. If you hit a 40, it would be psychic immunity.
But it's just like, But this isn't necessarily the
this isn't like the mists thing.
Yeah, no,
this isn't the mind manipulation thing because
you're immune to 25. You're immune to being charmed and frightened.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's good. A good baseline. I think we should just save stuff for the next rolls.
Understood. All right. Speaking of, next roll for Death Ward.
I assume this is a spell check for me.
Yes, I think you could do a spell, your sort of spell attack roll or whatever for you. What's everyone else going to do for the Death Ward? We have the tools reset. I think Faunolin is going to do jeweler's tools again, while Reginald, he will jump into smith's tools. Because those are things he's good at, unless anybody else wanted to do smith's tools. Since here's a rare case where Will is not.
Mm-hmm. Can you do like alchemist supplies for a Death Ward?
I think so. Yeah, you could be like imbuing it with whatever. Will, what do you got?
Nat 20 plus 10 plus 4, so 34.
34. All right. I should tell you also the DC to put the Death Ward in here is 30. So 34 is good. Okay.
Can I add a hero die onto this one?
Please.
Okay, I'm gonna add my D12 on here.
Great. Okay. D12 can often give you the ability to help your hirelings. I would. Yeah. There's a very valuable one. You might want to.
Okay.
You might want to do a
D8.
Yeah, D8 or a D10 or something. There. Yeah. Cool.
6.
42. Very nice.
It was 34, right?
Oh, it was 34. I thought it was 36. Fair enough. To a 40. Great. All right. Faunolin gets you all to a. Faunolin hits a 27. You know what? I will throw Faunolin's D6 on top of that. Because what does focused abilities do? Oh, yeah, it's any ability score question. 6. So Faunolin is a 33. Into the thing.
And then this is basically number of charges it has?
Yes, it's how many charges.
With the base being, we don't know.
It's 30. 30 is to successfully imbue it with a Death Ward.
Okay.
And so our next two options are about the mists and the amber light.
Yes, those are the harder ones. All right, Reginald, rolling for Reginald for Smith's tools, if that's cool.
Yeah, go for it.
Nobody needs Smith's tools. Great. Reginald has gotten you a. Oh my gosh, that's actually best. He's at 29, so I will roll his D10, his second wind feature thing, and he has 4 of those. Yeah, come on. I gives him a 3, so he's at a 32. All right, Glurk and Asheen, how are we coming here?
I am at 25 currently.
Okay, what are you rolling?
I rolled Alchemist.
Oh, right, yes.
And I got a 15 plus 10.
Sure.
With advantage?
Yeah.
Okay.
The advantage, I forgot it at first, and then I rolled the advantage, and it was 2. So.
I feel like
that.
This may be a good time for me to use Arcana. I mean, I could use Tinker Tools again, but it feels like
Arcana.
So
we want to wait and use Arcana for the last 2, yeah. I think.
Or spend your D10 to get it back.
Yeah, with a D10, and other people.
We get two rounds left.
Yeah. So you might people have to spend multiple D10s. Might be the fear.
Mm-hmm. So Arcana is very good. It's not my best, but it's close.
What is your Arcana modifier?
I have a plus 13 to Arcana.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, what's yours, Mr. Glurk?
15.
So are Reginald and Faunolin.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So.
Where are you getting these huge ass?
They all have expertise in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I do not get expertise, unfortunately.
Faunolin just took some feats.
Yeah, and I think I took a feat and also bard.
Sure. All right, so Sheen, so what would you like to use? And of course, listen, it's up to you. You can use it, and then just somebody else can try to use a D10 later to get it back. Or you can think of a different thing. I would say, honestly, Will would have been the only person who'd be really good at this. Like religion would make sense for me for Death Ward as well.
Yeah.
I should have used my religion instead of my spell attack.
Was it higher?
It's plus 12 instead of plus 10, but whatever.
Well, you can have it for the mist protection one. It probably
that's what I was going to use. I was going to use religion for the mist.
Religion's like sense. The only
int that you aren't proficient in.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Yeah, everything else I at least have proficiency in.
Yeah.
That's what I'm for.
So, Mr. Glurk, Will, as you debate this, Mr. Glurk, are you going to stay at a 25 or are you going to pump up?
I'll throw the 4 on.
You'll throw the D4 on. Great.
Yeah. 3.
A 3. All right. That gets you to a 28. So a Sheen. And if you still want to think, I can just roll for the staff. For the your smiths and your crafters as they kind of do their careful work on this portion.
When you remind me just how when you roll the D10 to get the ability, you're still adding that to the roll, right?
Let's see how it says. On that one you may not. Okay. No. Oh, no, that one you roll the D10, all you're looking for is a 10. If you hit a 10, that thing can be used every round by anyone the whole time.
Oh, well then I should do this now so that I force someone to try to roll a 10 on the next one.
Okay.
Because then everyone would be able to just use it.
Yeah, you could use multiple Arcanas on future
If someone
ones.
hits a 10 next round, then everyone gets to use it all the time.
Sure.
So.
Okay, so you'll do Arcana.
I'll do Arcana then.
All right.
Oh, that is so bad. Okay, so currently
tension.
It's a 22 currently.
Okay.
Let me see.
Well, you don't have inspiration. You don't give it to yourself.
I can't give it to
It's a shame. Yep.
I will. I'm gonna add my D12 on top of it.
Okay.
See if I can try to get.
So D12 is one of the most powerful ones. It adds so much to your hirelings. So I often urge people in these important ones to not use your D12s.
Sure.
I would.
Also, I don't think we're in a terrible spot either right now.
Yeah.
I did get like a 40.
Yeah.
He's got a 40. What's our We're only
40,
what did Reginald and Fauneland get?
Fauneland has a 33. Reginald had a 32.
I had 28. And our goal is 29.
Goal is 29.
You
know what? I'll re-roll his. I'll see if he does better here, if he increases it. I'd rolled 2 18s on his advantage thing, which gives. I'm going to say your goal is now a 28 for this one.
Right.
The feather has moved.
I'm going to use the D8 on top of it.
Okay.
Since I have a spell that just does that I never get to use now, so it's fine.
There you go.
7, so that brings me to a 29.
Okay. Uses Arcana. 29. All right, so I'm going to now roll for your staff. Staff, going to be a little lower, dragging you down, unless you want me to use any of their dice for this one. They're at a 22. Want me to throw their, you want me to throw their D10 or their D12 on? Or you want to save those for great? Because also...
I think we should save them.
Save them. All right, cool. So they're at... workers get 22. All right, so, here we go. Can you hit a 30? 33.
28.
It's exactly 28?
No. They have to hit a 28.
Oh, sorry. 30... Yes, can you hit a 28? That is a good point.
Yeah, 30.7.
30.7. Yep. All right.
It's like our worst one we've ever made. Just all minimums here.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're saving it for these two high ones.
Nuts
yeah.
on the last one.
Based off of the pay, we're basically doing this, pro bono.
All right. So in other words, death ward, it'll only be once per day. It's not charges. It's just you're put it on. You're under the effects of a death ward. Once it's been used, it won't have that property until the next
That's
dawn.
still pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good.
Free death ward. Okay. All right. Now, I'm gonna roll this guy again. We'll see if he could go. I'll just do even single points. If I can get a 19, you'll be down to a 27, and if I can get to a 20, you'll be a full 4 points under. I do not. It's a 1 and a 3. So the feathers remain at 28.
Goes up.
Feathers remain at this. Now, difficulty of this one: to be immune to the mist. Well, let's just say that with your feather, we're looking for a 38 average to give you this mist immunity.
Time to go crazy.
And then what's our last one?
Your last one is the Amber Light.
Understood.
Probably a similar DC, if not a little higher. Faunalyn is going to expend a D10 right now, so she can use Arcana on this and hope she hits a 10.
Let's go.
All right, so that changes things.
That means we can all use it.
And she keeps it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She keeps her D10 to add on top of a thing.
Yeah.
Arcana is open for business.
Everyone every round can use it, right?
Yes. Okay. So she's gonna do Arcana on this as she thinks things over. All right.
My religion is still higher than my Arcana.
Well, you should do religion.
It's the
then.
same as
Yeah.
is the same as Arcana. So it's
But we've no one's done our religion yet, so yeah. Okay. That's. Yeah. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna add up and I'm gonna check with her how she wants to utilize her dice.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'll also do Arcana.
Oh my god, another nat 20. I'm gonna add on my D6 and my D10. It's cocked. It's cocked as well. Why does this keep doing that? Okay, there we go. 4. 8. 16.
All right, so for your so sorry, I was typing a message to I was asking KJ how she wants to expend her extra dice. I did that D10 without asking her. I should have checked on her for that.
It works.
It worked. Okay. So Faunalyn's doing Arcana. Who's doing Arcana? Asheen and Glurk and Faunalyn and Reginald. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Great. So Will, you did religion instead?
Yes.
Okay. What'd you get?
I used my D6 and D10 as well.
What do we got? What are we at?
48.
Okay. Asheen, what are you at for your Arcana?
Because I got a nat 20 plus 12 plus, yeah.
I'm gonna add some dice on top of it.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my 6, 10, and 4. Because my roll was not great. and I know how I roll, so I figured.
And then what would using the D12 this round get us for the...
So yeah, somebody should use the D12 or multiple people. The D12, you roll the D12, that is added to your to the roll of the hirelings along with your proficiency bonus.
Okay.
And if you roll a 12 on it, it's double your proficiency bonus. So Ashin, what did you get to? Sorry
guys. 33.
33. Faudelin, with adding one die with a D8, got to a 38. Ashin got to a 33. That's fine. Did you expend extra dice, or you kind of try to save those?
No, I used my 6, my 10, and my 4 on that.
Understood. Glurk, I don't know if you can hear us, but if so, otherwise I'll do Reginald. I haven't rolled Reginald yet.
I'm rolling my D12 for the crew. I got a 10.
A 10. Oh my god, so that's a plus. What's your proficiency now? 5? So a plus 15. That's great. Okay. He is at... Oh, this is actually perfect. He is at a 32, so he's going to spend his second of his things in hopes that this gets... He just needs a 6 or higher on this. Okay, he gets a 5, so he is at a 37. So it's, it's a little soft, but it's good.
But he's under it, right? So he could use my inspiration now as well.
He could use your inspiration as well. It seems like a great time to it. He rolls a 1 on that, but that gets him to a 38. And he has all his dice left for the next. All right. So you're adding your D12 to your staff here. Would anyone else like to add the D12 to the staff here, or do you guys want to use that for later?
I'll add it as well for this, because then we have like 3 that we can add.
3 next. So go ahead and roll your D12.
That's hot. 6.
Okay, so 11 plus 15 is plus 26, plus their standard of a. I've been giving them a plus. They've been getting a plus 9 today, so 26 plus 9 is 35. So as long as I don't roll 2 1s, they'll be at the target. Okay, I didn't roll 2 1s, but I did roll the highest is a 4.
My god.
So they're at a 39. They've done it.
But not so well.
How'd you do, Mr. Glurk, on your Arcana?
Well, you know what?
I'm
sorry, your headphones died.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Sorry about your headphones.
Okay. Yeah. I'm at a 34 right now.
Okay. If you want to throw some on your target, we'll just go ahead and do the behind the scenes math on this for you. You're at a 34
currently.
It's the holidays.
I will tell you that a 34 means your average is 38.3333, which means that you don't have to expend more stuff, and you'll skate in thanks to the feathering.
Well, then we'll use that feathering.
All right. All right. Staff, it's a 39. Well done. So you have given it missed immunity. So this is a thing where, like, you guys really, I think for the first time, the MEA staff are feeling the, like, oh, this is tough. This is really hard. Yeah. Okay. We're now moving into it. The final thing is to give it some amber light. This is crazier. I'm going to roll one more time for your guy doing the studies. Those a 2 and an 8, so he's not even, whatever. He's giving you all about the helm. The feathering will stand. We're still at 8s. We're still at 8s and 3s for boosts. However, you are going to need to get to an average of 43 to have any effect at all, but with progressive power of amber leading up. To get to a 48, which is like a 50, to get to a 43, that's going to be maybe it can do like a dim glow once per day. As you get to a 50, it will have some stuff. If you can get well over that at increments of 3 and 8, then you're going to have a oh my gosh, this is like everything the lantern would have been. So, you all can use Arcana. which is great.
Can I request that if we happen to roll incredibly high and it's very like a concentrated like beam of energy or something like that can come off of it, that it has to be activated by going like this?
Sure. Absolutely.
First class.
Also, Mr. Glurk, I don't know if you're going to expend your D12 as well. They were kind of suggesting that might make sense. I'm going to roll the D12s of both Reginald and Faudelin, because they're both going to add on to your staff for this roll. Do you want to?
You guys want me to do it here? Or do we want to save it for?
This is the last one, isn't it?
Well, let's see what they add.
Oh, for selling the staff is a good point. You also might want it on that.
True.
Okay, so I got two.
Depending on what I roll, having a 12 as well. So I'll do what the part would like to do. So
do you want him to keep it to make you more money for selling the staff, or is it this that you want it high? I will tell you that you're already at a 10 and a 6 is 16 plus the 5 and 5 is, so you're already at a plus 26 for this. So plus 26 is pretty good.
I guess, can we wait until we've done our actions before
Yes.
we do this action?
Great. Okay, so we know they're gonna they're once again gonna have a plus 35 with their own thing. Okay, so yeah, we'll know that, Mr. Clerk, so we can hold off and see how this goes. I'm just gonna roll. I'm gonna roll for Faudelin, who has a plus 15, rolls at advantage with a thing. That is terrible. So that only gets her to a 24, 26. But it's a 26, so she can throw on your D10 for machine.
Does she have the
excellent.
throw?
She's got plenty of big dice left. Okay, that's a 7. So a 26 plus 7 is a 33. And she's putting everything else on top of that. Okay, well, okay. So 33 plus 9 is 42, plus 16 is 58, plus 4 is 62. Okay.
That's good work.
It makes sense. 62. All right. Will, how'd you do?
Let's see. Are you shitting me?
Uh-oh.
I like, no, that's a good argument.
Oh, it's a good argument.
Rolled a third nat 20 in a row.
Hey, if there's any night to do it, it's this.
You
gotta save those people.
So that's 20 plus 12 plus my D4 bless is a 4. So that's 36 baseline, and then I'm throwing my D20 on. Let's see what that rolls. That rolled a 19.
All right.
Jesus.
That's pretty darn good. 36
gonna
plus
throw
19
my-
is 55.
What have I not thrown yet? I think I've only not done my D4. No, I have done my D4. I think I've thrown everything except the 20.
There you go. All
So
right.
That's just 19 plus 30.
It's 55.
55, yeah. And then
Is that Arcana,
that's odd.
or is that
Arcana?
Arcana? Okay. All right. Nice. All right. Sheen, how'd you do?
Currently, we're at 25.
Okay.
I have a D20 left, so we're gonna see what happens.
All right. Also Arcana?
Also Arcana. 31.
Okay.
Rolled a 6 on the D20. I had a good roll at the beginning.
How did
First roll, fantastic.
I'll give you Reginald here. Yeah, I'll give you, Reginald's gonna put everything onto it. But actually, we're gonna hope. Well, he kind of can't, right? What's the target is 43, right?
Yeah.
So the most he can do is 35. So he's throwing his another D10 on top no matter what. Oh, great. Okay, so that's an 18 plus 15 is 33 plus a D10. Come on, big money. A 1, that's a shame. So that is
Did he
30.
use his inspiration?
He's already used his inspiration. So that's 34. But he is going to put all his dice on, which he has everything but his D12. So this is 34 plus all of this. Well, the rough thing is it is a 1 on the D20.
Oh.
That's 35. But it is a 9 on the D10, which gets him to 44. a 6 on the D6 and the D8, so 44 plus 12 is 56. And a 2 on the D4 gets him to a 58. You guys are really just like doing some very good 58. There we go.
Really what it is that Philip is much better at rolling dice than pretty much all of us.
Jeremy's been rolling. I don't think I've had any 20s today.
Except for the beginning.
I'm never not using this die again.
The best one though was the D10, although I'm not taking it back, but I realized I rolled the D10 on mine, not on her hero die. I'm gonna roll it now just to see. Was it a 10? Sorry.
Okay. So,
Mr. Glurk, what are you currently at? You're at 34.
I'm currently at a 34.
All right.
So, would you like me? And I have the 20, the 10, the 8, the 6, and the 12 left.
Well, I feel comfortable with you saving.
You should
12
save
the sale.
Save the 12. Roll all the others. Save the 12. Roll all the others and see what we get to, and then you'll see if you want the 12 here, or if we're feeling good about their 35.
At this point, I want it to be just like Cyclops' visor that can just fire out amber light.
Yeah.
So I got a 1 on the D6, a 5 on the D10,
okay,
3 on the 8, and then a 17 on the 20. So that is 26.
26 plus 30. So,
yeah,
is
34.
What?
So I'm at 60.
60. He gets to the big 6-0. All right.
Really carrying me here tonight, guys. Thanks.
All right. So that means they're going to have a plus 35 to their roll. So do you feel it is necessary to bump them, Mr. Glurk, with your D12, or do you want to save that to make some big money for our dear friend, Lustra?
What would you guys like? Do you guys
I think
care?
you should save
what
it.
do you guys want?
I vote for money.
Save it?
I vote for money.
Okay, we'll save it. That's what I wanted to do. But
I think you guys have overshot the target enough, and they have a plus 30 something, right? Like, I think we're fine.
I hit the nat 20.
Yeah.
There you go.
That is a 55. You have reached a 53, which in this case is the equivalent of a 55, so you have gone over. So you do not get to beam, which is what a 60 was going to be, but you're at a 55. So this means, all right, so at the end of this very hard 10-day of work, which is leaving you perhaps the most diminished, it was, you know, honestly, putting that death ward in wound up making it way harder because it was like another, you know, just like another round of everything you had to do. However, you have crafted a helm. Do you want to call it a helm of wits, or do you want to call it the helm of amber wits? Which I think is what Pierce said in the suggested in the Discord.
Yeah. Helm of
I just like the helm of magnetic wit.
Helm of magnetic wit.
What about the deathless amber helm?
Ooh.
I think we'd probably go helm of deathless amber, but yeah, you get the idea. You gotta have an oven there.
The amber of deathless helm.
Helm. Amber.
There we go. Now we're talking. The helm of deathless amber. So, you have crafted over the time a helm that prevents you from being charmed or frightened, gives you the benefits of Death Ward once per day, gives you immunity to the mist, and can shine the amber light out of the top of it as necessary. It basically can create, it's sort of like what you were talking about, Pierce, but it's a much sort of like brighter and more intense version. It's not like a laser cutting beam. It's not like a death beam, but it's I'm trying to think of like a spell to like give it like is it like firebolt, or is it like it's like cantrip level, like you can shoot it out kind of at it's not a charge based thing. In other words, you can create amber light. You can even shoot it off.
It's an amber blast.
Amber blast. Yeah. Amber, like Eldritch Blast. Perfect. It has different beams like that. That's great. Okay. Generate.
I do like when we name the thing at the end because that feels the most like a crafting in a video game where it just randomly generates a series of like attributes to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. So, with that, you have done the crafting. Now, let's quickly check in on all our other people. Shall we roll? Let's get all the other people out of the way here. Let's see how they did in... We'll roll this twice. The kitchens are over 20, so they're doing a great job of holiday cheer. Riva is 22, so the winter festival's a hit.
All right.
Everyone's been empowered. You've already talked to Flynar. He gave you lots. Flynar was working very hard this past week on just like pulling you guys info about helms. But it wound up being useful because in a couple cases that little feather, actually on the last two, right, were you just at the feathered edge because of the thing. And now we get to the main event. So Mr. Glurk, go ahead and roll your d12.
A 9.
A 9. So that will be plus 14. Adding to the 9 is a plus 23 to whatever I roll here. For Lustra, a natural 20 is a 43.
Like our 5th natural 20.
You just said I haven't rolled a 20 and then proceed to roll like 3 in a row.
I just
I
rolled
know.
2 20s. Oh, please, it was only 2. So, with that, with a 43. Oh, if only it had been a 45, just a little more. Wait!
Wait, does the feathered... Oh, I guess it's...
down to...
I am such a jerk. I didn't put these on any of your staff rolls. They can't use them as hero dice, but they can add them over the course. I meant to put these onto the staff rolls. I'm so sorry.
Oh, shit.
I should have been...
add it all now?
Yeah.
I'll add it here. I feel like I should add some to that last round, but...
That's all right. Take the cash money.
Okay.
I don't know. We could add some to the last round to get to the beam.
So she's at a 43. 43 plus 9 is 52. Plus 4 is 56. Plus 5 is 61. Plus 3 is 64. Plus 6 is 70. Plus 2 is 72. So
what was the total you added onto them?
72 minus 43.
72 minus 43, 28?
Yeah.
29.
29. Okay. Well, actually for 6 dice, 29, that doesn't really even sound that high. I think it's a little below par. But the point is, it happened. So, I'm so sorry. We should have added, we could have taken so much tension out earlier, but it's a fun time to do it. So basically, while you guys are busting your lives, doing this, Lustra kind of will come up to you afterwards and say, "Oh, I have some very good news. I have sold the Staff of the Damned."
Oh, really?
Excellent.
Yes.
And they're not going to try and kill us with it.
No. In fact, I basically sold this to, not that you all... I, of course, am a Valo, so it's kind of important to me to do good things. I sold this to the most kind-hearted necromancer who exists. Pierce, could you roll me a D100?
Sure. 29.
29, he says. 29, he says to me. He says, okay. It is a, hold on, name generator. Okay. Actually, hey, Jeremy, roll me a D100 as well.
I have to measure. Let me find the 100 then. Here. 17.
17. Actually, roll that again. Sorry.
Oh, well. Okay, let me find the die again.
You're good. I'm a bad person and a horrible friend.
It's alright, I'll forgive you probably. 45.
45. Ah, now we're talking. All right. She sells it to, yes, a word of this, thanks to Mr. Glurk's efforts. There was I don't know if you know about the sort of the realms of the skyward angels, some call them air genasi, some called them the elemental touched. But there is a necromancer there, who is, well, quite frankly, though she's very air-based, she has very good light energy, and but at the same time, she's a little dark, kind of like me. We're really kindred spirits, is the point. Anyway, her name is 88, and she is a necromancer, and not only do I think that she will only use this staff in ways that won't come back to harm us, she has paid us a very, very handsome sum.
Oh, that's wonderful news.
Handsome.
Anne has suggested that she might wish to have more items crafted in the future.
That's always good.
Wonderful.
And I have found, and with my 72 I rolled, I've also found my perfect hairstyle. I don't know if you guys can tell, but Faudelin, do you see my hair? Yeah, okay, yeah, exactly. There you go.
It's almost as good as mine. I'll just pull some ooze up.
Slorch up some, yeah. Well, so in other words, we are good on cash, and we will be getting another influx here. So I think that this is good news. This means our plans to mass produce the sort of some kind of shielding amethyst we're in very good shape. Oh, and look, here comes here comes Dr. Abnormal, and with that you see that sort of she's clad in kind of like. It's definitely like 40s influenced, you know. It's got sort of a kind of a
abnormal, right?
Yes, what I say, doctor?
Yeah.
She is a doctor, but she's a detective. Yeah. She has her doctorate, but she goes by detective. She's kind of has like 40s influenced sort of clothing, but at the same time, she's not like in like a skirt. She's kind of in, you know, she looks like she could move and get into stuff. She's a human, so you know. Kind of boring to most of you, but to Reginald, like the normal vibe. But she'll sort of come in and she'll say, do you have it? I need to be, I need something very strong to rescue all these people. I'm Dr. Abnormal. I don't know if I said this to you guys already. I haven't met most of you. And let's just, hello, Detective Abnormal. Oh, did I say doctor? I'm sorry. I have a doctorate, so it's kind of complicated how it works.
Yes, Dr. Detective.
Yes.
I think you'll be very pleased with
Detective
what we've...
Doctor.
Detective Doctor?
Oh, I like that.
If you will.
Actually, no, just detective.
Detective Abnormal. I think you'll be pleased with what we've come up with for you.
Oh, well, no time to look now. Here's your payment. I've got to be off. There's friends to rescue. Well, acquaintances. I don't know all of them, but...
But I hope none of your
Make sure you send
acquaintances
them back.
die horrible deaths.
Well, I hope they haven't already.
That too.
Oh,
I
you
don't
should
care.
probably
Send them back this way, so they don't get kidnapped again or lost or whatever.
Oh, this is cool.
And I was like, let's just...
Oh, you put amber on it!
Right?
Oh, that's great! Oh, good! Oh, great. Okay.
And since you're heading on a dangerous mission, just here, take a complimentary potion with you.
Oh.
Might give you a bit of health on the way. Just
Thank you. Oh, wow. Ooh, goodness.
And remember, any of your friends who you drag kicking and screaming out of the abyss of terror will likely be looking for magic items as well, and they're always welcome to come here and give us their business.
Probably not the first thing I'll say to them, but you know, sure, that
Maybe
will
a
be
second.
okay. Okay. Well,
just keep it in.
bye.
Keep us in,
I really do have to go. It's a horrible situation, probably getting worse all the time to the lakes of despair. This will prevent me from getting charmed or frightened or anything like this, right?
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
And it gives you immunity to the mists, and you have...
Oh, yay!
an active death ward every day.
Oh.
So if you do die, you won't die once per day.
And you have amber, so okay, well, okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. I appreciate it. Okay. She she'll say, it's faster if I just, and then she'll kind of go into this weird trance as she uses her abnormal sight. And she watches you guys craft it in the span of a few moments. Oh. You worked very hard on this. Thank you so much. Okay, bye. And she'll kind of just head off.
Good luck, Dr. Detective.
She paid us, right?
Yes,
she did.
Right, yes, she did.
What about Detective Abnormal MD?
Have to run that by her next time she comes by.
It feels like a...
Maybe we should start branding this stuff better. Put our own little MEI logo on things.
Are we not? I've been putting logos on everything.
Well, all right then.
Oh,
Yeah,
perfect. Yeah, you've got
runes. I carve into
it's
everything.
like
well, this is always on it somewhere.
Yeah.
Like elvish runes around the base inside of the helmet, and then on the center it is like just the MEI logo.
MEI logo with a registered trademark.
Languages.
Yeah.
I can't comprehend language every time, so I can put in whatever appropriate language runes we needed to.
Well, with that, mission accomplished. It's interesting because you guys, two of these things were just sort of like, actually three of them you really just did the base level, but in many cases that's fine. But you super overperformed with the amber, which will be very beneficial. I certainly think that Detective Abnormal's trip is going to go well for her, even though she'll also, I'm sure there'll be some twists and turns because it's stories. But yeah, you've definitely given her a big edge on her mission to rescue Captain Eldritch and the Guild of Secrets, and maybe those 13 Vs, if she thinks of it. So, with that...
All 13.
You could leave a few of them in there, that'd be fine. So with that, and with a good bit of money under the belt, thanks to selling the Staff of the Damned to Aviate, which was a name on a Genasi generator that I saw and said, okay...
Yeah.
We will, that's where we're going to wrap up this session. But well done to all. That was for some reason that one was like, I mean, obviously the targets were high, but that one felt very tense.
Yeah.
It felt closer.
You also weren't using any of the dice from the...
They could have had a little more, yeah, there should have had a little bit of them. I mean, on the other hand, though, you got a big sale out of it for the end.
I think
so
also, even with you rolling all of their dice, I think the fact that there's just three of us here adds the tension, like it's that there's less of us doing it.
Yep, makes it feel a little more compact. So, well, very good. Well, we will see what happens next time. We'll do a week.
Actually, we're just trying to hit an average, right? So if there's less of us, it actually might be easier to succeed.
They're still rolling. We still roll for them.
Rolling though.
I know, but I'm just saying that, like, I feel like that tension is an illusion. That if
it's completely an illusion.
Yeah. Totally.
Tension is real.
The tension is real. Well, everybody, thank you so much. This was a lot of fun. We have some other games on the channel. Join us on Friday for our next Arkham Prelude game, where we'll have more of our sort of players for that game in another game set in the past, as we sort of continue building out that kind of creepy Cthulhu world. You can join us next Sunday for another Monster the Ravaging. They're going to... Ooh boy, are they going somewhere interesting next week? It's gonna be a totally normal door they step through. Oh boy, always reply to emails. When you just blanket email. Let me phrase it like this: they decided that they needed to talk to the devil Mephistopheles, and someone suggested that the devils are online already. So he just basically started just doing like Mephistopheles at hotmail.com, Mephistopheles at yahoo.com. This is set in 1994. Mephistopheles at prodigy.net. So the point is, they went through, and then they got an email back.
Including doing it with where we substitute all the appropriate letters for numbers.
For 3s and 5s for the S.
Yeah.
Mephistopheles 666. Anyway, they are going to do that, so join us for that on Sunday. A week from tonight, we're back with more MEI fun. We will do a vote for the next MEI product, so join us for that as well. That'll be in our Discord, And we'll probably have some other info in the Discord as well about all that fun stuff. So yeah, go to that Discord to interact with us. Go to our YouTube to watch old episodes. Go to the wiki to see all these games intersect. Thank you so much for watching. If anybody here wants to say anything, mention anything on the way out.
Sure. I think this is mostly. It's the first thing that came to mind as I was rapidly trying to think of something in the last 2 minutes for this, but I think it's mostly had to do with our conversation last night, Philip. But I'm going to recommend a movie from a few years. It feels like, God, it must be like 10 years now.
Ooh, he's not the worst.
Yeah. Madam Web.
It is a Robert Eggers film, The Lighthouse.
Oh, sure.
Which probably has some more tones, more of where Dr. Abnormal is going. But really, it's just all that we got very light centric.
Where's light, and also just working hard and driving yourself crazy.
Yeah,
it's also appropriate. Very good. Well, thank you all for watching. Kevin, I'll give you the final word. How many more Keanu Reeves as Jonathan Harker in Bram Stoker's Dracula's would you give Madam Web than Craven, as you're now the only one who's seen both? How many many Keanu Reeves as Jonathan Harker in Bram Stoker's Dracula's better?
What is the difference?
I will say doesn't compute because Craven is 0. So then when you apply anything more and you do the math,
But what is the maximum possible Keanu? Is it 47? Like 47 Ronins? Can you give him all 47?
I would urge you not to reference non-Bram Stoker's Dracula Keanu Reeves films when we're talking about Keanu Reeves as Jonathan Harker and Bram Stoker's Dracula. That would dock you several Keanu Reeves as Bram Stoker as Jonathan Harker and Bram Stoker's Dracula's, sir.
So we'll say +3.
It's a +3? Okay. That's a reasonable question. No, the maximum is the maximum is of course 1,992 because that is the year that Bram Stoker's Dracula was released.
Excellent.
So that's the maximum number.
It's just the timing of it. I'm sure it's not what you were doing, but when he told you +3, you reached out to type something like you were adding that into the summary of tonight's
All right,
episode.
+3.
Actually, for our next thing that we're crafting.
It is, yeah. We're crafting
Jonathan Harker.
The Jonathan Harker. It's a oops. All Keanu Reeves as Jonathan Harker in Bram Stoker's Dracula. You're just building.
Do it with Keanu Reeves. Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to be. Hi, my name is Jeremy, and in this game I am playing Keanu Reeves as Jonathan Harker in Bram Stoker's Dracula. And I look like Keanu Reeves as Jonathan Harker in Bram Stoker's Dracula. Great. Pierce, what is your role in this game?
Oh, I'll be playing Keanu Reeves as John Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Great.
But I look like Keanu Reeves in The Matrix.
Out. Booted.
Dressed as Keanu Reeves.
I muted him. I literally muted him for what he was saying. Never had to do that to you before, but in this case I did. How dare you?
When you say Jeremy playing Keanu Reeves as whatever, it's actually Philip playing Jeremy playing Keanu Reeves as Mr. Spencer.
In that case, it was, yeah. In any,
I have to unmute myself after you.
Once I mute you, not only that, then you got to do something. It's a two-step authentication.
Slap on the wrist. That's like a bam, bam across the face.
It is, sir. Lest you reference the Matrix does not exist in this Castle Dracula. Guys, we have a lot of fun. I don't know why, because what we're saying is insane, but we still have fun. Thank you all so much. We will see you next time. Until then, if you need magic items, you need MEI. Wave like you're in a local TV ad.
Are we still on?
Yes, we are.